Alrighty, full time at Sellers Park. United 2, Crystal Palace 1. Here are my 5 things that I learned. Let's jump into it with Joshua Xerxes. Look, I thought in the first half, honestly, he was crap. And it simply comes down to confidence with Joshua Xerxes. I think in our last podcast, I said that I didn't know if that last game was his last game. But in that second half, he put away a chance that I didn't know he had in his locker. And then immediately turned back into the Joshua Xerxes that people were raving about. The 9.5, the beautiful technical insight and dribbling and touches and passing. His array of talent is there. It's always been there. And I love Joshua Xerxes. You could tell by the reaction of his teammates when he scored the goal that really they have a liking to him as well. But the question for Joshua Xerxes always come down to, can he play with confidence and can he bury chances? Today in that second half, he did both. And I want to dial in on that finish to be particular with, because one, the run is amazing. The run is amazing. He gets into a space, fires it home, and looks really good doing it. Right? And to beat Dean Henderson, which is one of the best keepers in the league, with that type of finish is someone that needs to be playing with confidence. And I think in that moment, he took his chance, and then you could just see it spread throughout his game. I think in the first half, he was like 6 of 12 for his passing, really didn't get involved in the play as well as I would have liked him to. I thought it was kind of just bouncing off him, going straight to defenders. And then the second half, he picks up another 10 passes and is way more efficient with it. I thought that he probably could have had an assist on the day as well, but he had one shot and it was one goal. I think for Joshua Xerxes moving forward here, if he's going to continue to get chances, because United just had a lack of offensive talent, he just needs to keep playing with that level of confidence. Very, very good performance from Mr. Joshua Xerxes today. Very happy for him, and obviously his goal goes a long way. Now let's get into lesson number 2. I thought Luke Shaw was brilliant today, and I think he's been very good to start the season. I think that some performances haven't been great, but he's done a really solid job. Obviously, he came off for Martinez, so I want to give a quick shout out to Lisandro Martinez for making it back to this point. That's an amazing achievement after the major surgeries that he's had to get back onto a footballing pitch. It's a huge plus for United. But back to Luke Shaw. In that first half, he kept United in that game twice with 2 almost essentially goal line saving clearances and slide tackles. He was immense today. I thought on the ball he was really good. I thought he was United's best defender. I didn't think Yoro particularly had a very good game. I didn't have an issue with him being subbed off. But looking into Shaw's numbers and the way that he performed today, he completed the most passes. So he had 58 passes on the game. He won 1 of 2 of his ground duels. He won 2 of 4 of his area duels, put in a tackle, had a block, had 3 clearances, 3 interceptions, and 3 recoveries. And most of those were very timely, and they had to be made. De Ligt losing his footing, Yoro losing his footing, runners in behind, runner literally on the back host, Munoz here. If he doesn't make this tackle, he doesn't make these tackles. United are down 3-0 going into the half, and we don't even have a shot of winning the game. So shout out to Luke Shaw. He thought he was our best defender on the day, and he is my lesson number 2. Now, lesson number 3. This is a guy that I have been very, very, very off on all season. I just don't think he's been particularly very good. Today was a flashback performance, particularly in that second half. All of these things go to the second half and looking at them from the second half. That was his best performance this year. I think that was his best performance under Rúben Amorim. Technically very good today. In a lot of the areas where I think we've missed the mark with Diego Dalot going forward, and the things that made him so good in that right back position under Ten Hag was his ability to get into the midfield, take a couple of really good touches, play the ball into Bruno, and then get the feeder ball right off the 1-2. Today, he did that multiple times, and I think on both of the set pieces, he's involved in the buildup that gets the foul. And honestly, he should have had another foul in the similar spot. Like, it was repeatable actions. It was 1-2 touches with Bruno or with Casemiro, put the ball in behind, and he was making the right run. He was also really good defensively today. In a couple of key spots, he needed to make a couple of key defensive moves, and he did it. Look, for United, he had 25 of 36 passes completed, and if you're a wingback, you have to be progressive. You have to try to make things happen. Today, he did that. Obviously, his shooting boots weren't great, but I thought in general, he played super well. Let's look at his duels. He won 4-4 aerial duels. He was 4-7 in ground duels. He had 6 recoveries, 3 clearances, and 1 tackle. A really good all-around performance from Diego Dallo. One that, if he continues to play that left wing back spot until they go in and address that position, is his. And he absolutely deserved it after today. Very impressive performance. Please, please start to put back-to-back performances together, because there's no reason not to like Diego Dallo. He's a character. He's a leader in this team. It's just about playing good. Today was a much better performance. So he's lesson number 3. Now, lesson number 4, I'm going to go with Mason Mount. What an unsung hero for United so far this season. Obviously, Cunha being out, Mason Mount has filled in the spot. I think the question when Ahmed was playing there was, why isn't this working? Why isn't this ticking? And it just doesn't look as clean as it does with Mason Mount. And Mason Mount is just built for the system. It's really interesting. I think that because he's been so injury prone, it's been hard to be high on Mason Mount. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be high on Mason Mount because the talent's there. It's clearly there. There's no reason to not question his, or there's no reason to question his talent. That finish today was it just absurd. Low, driven, perfect off the set piece to put United in the lead. But also on top of that today, I thought he was really good in interchanges with Dalot. I thought he was really good with coming into midfield. That's something that he does better than any other midfielder for United, and better than any other 10, is he drops into the midfield with Bruno Fernandes, and they almost become this pressing trigger together where if Bruno goes super high, Mount is filling in the spaces. And it's just very technically sound. It's very intelligent. His IQ just buzzes off the pitch. You really can tell that he understands the game to a higher level than most guys. And today, another goal for him in another big moment where United needed to have a response. They needed to have a game. Mason Mount did it, and he came up very strong for United. So he's my lesson number 4. And let's get into lesson number 5. For Amorim, for the team, especially after that Everton loss, I've told you it's going to be a roller coaster ride this whole season. Like, if you were expecting it to be anything else than a roller coaster ride, you were insane. But now United sit currently in 6th place as of the time of recording, which is 6:23 in the morning for me. Been up since 4. But I needed this response. The team needed this response. Amorim needed this response. To go in halftime down 1-0 where they weren't really doing anything, and to have that level of second half performance where I absolutely think that they just were better than Crystal Palace in all facets of the game, in all 3 phases of the game, they were better than them, is a huge response. And for United now, it's about building. Can you build off this? Can you go in Thursday against Wolves and just take care of a bad side? Can you make it 6 points off the bounce? Really, it should be 9 points because Everton gave you a game. But Amorim was very worried, and you could tell it in his press conference about the level of response and going back to the way that things were, which one I didn't love. I don't think that he should have been that vocal about that opinion. I think we're all in that mood, and I think that as a manager, you have to be a little stronger there in your character. But he asked for a response. He multiple times this week went out and said things about players, said things about the team. He went to the media and said, "Hey, look, this is what I'm telling them in the dressing room. We haven't been good enough. We weren't good enough. We need a response." Going into Selhurst Park, which I don't think they had lost in a long time there, and defensively they had only given up 9 goals on the season. To go into Selhurst Park, down 1-0 at half, and to come away with 3 points is a massive, massive thing to the character of this team. Massive. I can't understate it. Now 21 points, unbeaten in 4 of the last 5, if you want to look at it that way, but finally getting back on track with 3 points with their first win in 4. It's always going to be a roller coaster ride with Manchester United. It always will be. But the response, that level of character to get a result today when things could have turned sour, which I think in years prior it would have, is huge. It's huge for the momentum, and it's huge for every character in this team. Xerxes, Mount, Shaw, Dalot. All the guys that haven't played well to this point in the season played well today, especially in that second half. But those are my 5 things. It's been interesting being a United fan this season. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know if you guys learned anything in particular from this match. Do you think it was just a fluke with set piece goals? I didn't get to shout out Bruno Fernandes in this one. Again, that guy is just the best player. I have nothing bad to say about Bruno Fernandes. He's a workhorse. He's asked to do everything. Comes away with 2 assists today. And I didn't even make him a 5 things because I didn't think it was as important. Because that's the level that Bruno Fernandes is as a player. But like I said, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of today's match. Are you excited as a United fan about the stretch of games going forward? Can they now start to stack wins? Did you see anything else that you want to mention to me? Let me know in the comments below. As well as just, we got another couple of videos coming out this week. We have a C.O.C network video, Clash of Clubs video coming out today, as well as a 5 things we learned from the Chelsea versus Arsenal match. It's been a big week. It's a big week for the title challenge for all these teams. So if you want to come hear more about United and all that stuff, please go check out our podcast and all the other stuff and drop a like and a subscribe on our channel. But until that next video, until I see you guys in that next video in your comments, I've been Dylan from C.O.C Network, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.